All right, questions for Coach?
All right, Coach, now you've kind of, you're past preseason camp, you're getting ready for another opponent. Just kind of looking back on the last 3 or so weeks, what was your biggest takeaway from preseason camp for your offense?
Oh, just our guys coming together as a group. You see in every position group every week just gaining ground and getting closer to exactly where we want them to be by the time we go out there next Thursday. So just them coming together, our leaders starting to lead, which is what we've been really pushing them to do. So been really impressed by that and happy with where we are.
Tim, what is starting out this week? Is it installation of plays? Is it? I mean, are you guys full in game preparation mode right now this week?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Today was our first day of game one install, which was really good. So it's a really fun practice getting out there and getting an opportunity to really start working on someone else and putting the plan together. Tuesday is always a little bit new for the guys. So, but it went really well. I like what we did out there today. Our guys hustled around, and obviously we got a little more time to clean things up. But we're in a really good spot.
I'm not sure how much film you've went into on New Hampshire yet. What have you seen from them? I know they have 2 former All-American DNs.
Yeah, those guys, the defense been starting with those 2 guys. They really good players. They've done a really good job there in their careers. So, we definitely got to be aware of them starting off. They got a really good corner. Number 11 did a really good job for them last year. And pass defense and in the run game. He's a guy they like to blitz a lot. So, that was good to see. But, just an overall defense that plays really hard, and that's exactly what you're going to get with those guys.
In terms of footwork, what changes have you seen with KJ Jefferson over camp?
When it comes to that, I think Coach Henshaw's done a good job of just making them consistent because, certain concepts you see him when he's throwing to the right probably wasn't as comfortable with it. When he's throwing to the left, probably wasn't comfortable with it. But he's done a really good job in whatever those areas are, cleaning up day to day. And right now, just like I said about our overall offense, and he's done a good job of just developing and progressing every day where we feel comfortable and feel really good about where he's at.
How would you evaluate the passing game as a whole as to where it's gone over the course of the last 3-4 weeks?
It's good. We have a lot of options at receiver right now. Then we're doing a really good job of getting our backs involved. And then I've talked last week about our tight end. So just having, all those 3 skill areas being able to be a part of our pass game is going to be really big for us this year. And we just looking to, from week to week, be able to progress and give guys opportunities. But for us, it all starts with being able to get the ball downfield. We've been pretty, headstrong on that, and that hasn't changed at all. So we want to be able to stretch the defense vertically and get our guys behind the defense. And we're doing a good job in that area right now.
Obviously, it's a team that has kind of built its offense, got a lot of weapons. But how have you put your stamp on what you want to see this offense do?
Well, I just want a consistent offense from week to week, and from quarter to quarter, half to half. You look last year, the offense had a lot of success. You look at numbers at the end of the year, guys did a really good job numbers-wise, running the ball, passing the ball. But you talk about in those key situations, being able to sustain and continue to execute at a high level when the games get tight, when the moments get tough. Being able to execute at a high level and finish games. So that's really what I want to see. That's really what we've been all pushing our guys with last year. We look back on last season, just being able to finish as an offense.
On Saturday, Coach Malzahn said he feels like you guys have quality depth at wide receiver. Just what did you see during camp from that group? Who kind of pushed to the forefront to kind of be the top 4 or 5 guys at that spot?
Well, Kobe Hudson, being our top returner guy, the success that he had last year, obviously he's coming back with a lot of confidence, and that's really helped us. I think the guys that we brought in to compete with him has helped him try to elevate his game. Jacoby Jones done a good job. Trent Whitmore has done a great job this camp. Chauncey Magwood, Xavier Townsend. We got a lot of guys that are lunch pail guys, and that's what I really appreciate about the group. And a lot of them hasn't gotten the attention that they're probably going to get as this season goes, but you see them out there every day bringing it. They bring it every day, and I think everybody will be happy with what they see from our receiver group as this season progresses.
Tim, everyone talking to the players, they're excited about getting the season started. They want to hit some other people themselves. But as coaches, and for you coming back here, how excited are you about getting this season started and getting into game prep week and actually focus on something, an opponent rather than against each other?
Yeah, man, the excitement that's an understatement. How excited I am. Just yesterday coming in the building and we knowing that our focus was going to be all on our opponent. I think all of us felt it was a little bit different feeling going out there to practice today. That feeling was a lot different. Working with our scouts, making sure that they're exactly in the spots that we want them to be. As we referring it back to film and all that, it's just a different feeling feeling when you know you're about to play against someone else. So I'm super excited, man. Ready to get in the bounce house, ready to see our student body and all of our fans rock that thing out, man. I missed that. Had a year away from it, but I'm excited to get back in there next week.
You talked about your wide receiver room as lunch pail guys.
Mm-hmm.
How would you evaluate their blocking? As that's a pretty important part of it.
That's super important, and that's probably more than anything. That's been the biggest focus for us this off season. You know, you go back, you look at last year. We had 2 guys that statistically in the receiving categories did a really good job. But when you really go and evaluate tape, you know, the things that we were doing without the ball wasn't always at the level that we needed it to be. You know, for us to, what I said before, finish games. You know, it might have been one missed block or one guy not screening on a block that could have changed the difference of a game. So, you know, that's been our identity this off season. Our guys, they've answered that bell, man. They're hard on each other now. You hear them coaching each other when it comes to guys not screening. When it shows up on tape and they know it's not looking the way that we've been pushing for it to look, they're correcting each other. And that's really what you want the group to start doing. Guys holding each other accountable when they know exactly what it should look like.
You have several options at running back. How do you plan to best utilize Johnny Richardson?
Johnny's a guy that's obviously he's had success whenever given his opportunities over his entire career. You know, having an opportunity to coach him. Johnny, he brings a lot to the table, explosive playmaker. And for us, what we got to do is we're always going to find ways to get the ball in his hands. And I think, you know, when you look at us now, it's not going to be predominantly all the time from the running back position. But when you got a playmaker like him, you got to find other positions and other spots to put him in to get the ball in his hands. And we've done a good job of that in training camp of, you know, just designing some things to be able to let him show what he's good at. And I think Johnny's done a really good job of even elevating the parts of his game that probably taken him off the field before. He's done a good job of elevating in those areas where he can stay on the field a little bit longer.
Penny's mentioned the heat several times we've talked to him. So how do you feel like he's adjusted to the, you know, from a conditioning standpoint, and what kind of role do you think he can provide from the get-go of the season?
Penny, he's done a good job, man. You're right about that first week and a half. He was making the comments to me too, Coach, this heat's different. But you just watch him, man. The more that we throw him out there, Coach Cam Martin is doing a good job of pushing him. And really sometimes not, you know, because the guys, they get to that point where they think they're tired sometimes. And what we want to do is when our guys get there, we want to keep them out there and push them past that point. And as they gain confidence and knowing that they can stay out there and still have success, you know, that's when they start being able to elevate their game. And Penny's done that. You know, in our scrimmage, 2 scrimmages ago, he did a really good job. We got in some red zone areas, and he was able to finish drives. And that's an area that he's really going to help us. But just overall, you know, you got a 1,400-yard rusher that comes in. You know he's a guy that can create some explosive plays too. But he's done a really good job in pass pro. He catches the ball well. He's an all-around back.
Tim, we know that obviously coaches can have helmet communication with the quarterback on the field now.
Right.
How have you seen that maybe help or change the game or how you call game? I mean, there's a lot of information the quarterback's got to take in. Plus, he's got someone in his ear now.
Right.
What have you noticed from that? How has KJ maybe, you know, kind of been able to take that step and roll with that?
Yeah, already KJ being an experienced quarterback, playing a whole lot of football, the game is already pretty slow to him, but I think, you know, you're adjusting to a new offense, and, you know, he's had spring and fall camp, which he's done a really good job continuing to progress there, but being able to have that communication from coach, you know, at the line of scrimmage up to 15 seconds, where he can tell him what certain looks look like, confirming what we've seen on film throughout the week, I think it calms all of them down, you know, him and the rest of our quarterbacks, and you see that in our scrimmages where they know exactly what it is. You know, we're not guessing a whole lot. They're using their eyes, but when they get confirmation from coach, it helps settle them big time.
On the offensive line, I know you have a few guys that, you know, return as starters, but it was going to be a big camp for, say, a guy like Paul Rubel to kind of, you know, see if he could earn a job and kind of show himself. Like, what kind of camp did Paul have? And did he kind of emerge to be one of your main guys at tackle? Yeah,
absolutely. Paul's had an outstanding camp. Been really impressed with him. You know, even back in spring ball, you know, getting back here and watching his development over the past year, it was very exciting to see. And then you watch him in fall camp, and his game has continued to develop as well, and you just see the confidence in him. You know, I remember when we first got here, Paul was a young guy still trying to figure out the game a little bit, and you see where he is now. He's just so much more of a confident player. You know, he's having fun out there, and then he's executing at a very high level. So really pleased with Paul right now. Excited to watch him play this season.
From what you've seen so far, how would you describe the identity of this offense?
I think our guys, we're a physical offense. That's exactly what we want to be. When we have day one of camp and we talk about who we want to be as an offense, that's exactly what I see now that training camp is ended. You know, when we talked to them on that first day about what we wanted to be, we weren't quite there yet. We had to get a lot of answers, and I think right now we have those answers when it comes to how physical that we're going to be. You know, we know we're going to hang our hat being able to run the football, and everyone in our offense is going to be a part of that. You know, that's our interior guys and our perimeter guys are going to be a part of that physical mentality. So I feel very confident that we're exactly who we are and who we want to be in terms of that. And then just also, our guys are having fun with each other. And that's, at the end of the day, that's what we want them to do. You know, this game that they play, I want them to have fun. And that's what we end every single day with. We're going to execute. We're going to play at a high level. We're going to be physical and all that good stuff. But when it ends, man, we got to be having fun. And that's what you see our guys doing. They're celebrating with each other. No one is worried about who's getting the ball or how much shine this guy's getting. Everyone is pushing each other, and we all marching in the same direction. And that's what winning teams do.
Time for a few more.
You've talked throughout fall camp about Xavier Townsend and Kobe Hudson stepping up as leaders in the wide receiver room. How has that helped with all the new transfers coming in?
Oh, it's helped big time because our guys, when you got your guys who've been in the program and they set the standard a certain way, you know, the guys that are coming in new, it's easy for them to fall in line, because if they don't, you know, they'll stick out like a sore thumb. And our new guys, the freshmen that we brought in, and our transfer guys who are experienced, Javaris, Jacoby, they've done a good job of just making sure that they continue to elevate that standard in the room. But all of our older guys, you talk about Kobe and Xavier, but I think Trent is a guy that's a big part of what our receiver room has turned into. Trent is a huge part of that, and Chauncey, being here a year, not really getting a lot of opportunity last year, and now trying to, you know, stamp his position in the group. He's done a really good job in training camp. And then Jared Baker, another older guy that's been around here. Just guys that come to work every day, man. They haven't gotten that shine yet, but you see them every day pushing themselves to the point to be able to put themselves in position to get that.
And Gus has talked about self-reflection for himself, and you know, that kind of the urgency and the physicality he wanted to bring to camp. So now that it's game week, what's been his kind of attitude and his mood around campus, around the room? You know, what's his level of kind of excitement for this?
Coach has been super excited, you know, and it's all about that. And from him all the way down to us, that excitement is just brewing in our facility right now. You know, we know when he walk in the building, he got a smile on his face, and he's excited to go out there and play someone else. And when he walk in an offensive staff room, all of us, we carry that when we walk into our position rooms. And, you know, what he does, Coach has been a great leader for us, and then our players, they feel that positivity from him, and I think that's one thing that stood out. He's been very positive with our players and pushing them, and that's something that, you know, a leader has to do, and Coach has done a really good job of doing that. Our players are feeding off of it because they know that he believes in them when he's coming in with that positive mindset every day.
All right, thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
All right, thank y'all.